When I was dreaming up something to say today, I had a brilliant idea. Consult the University of Google. So I looked at Google, and there I read that the speech by the father of the bride should last for 35 minutes. Should last for 5 minutes, and not less than 3 minutes. So here we go. Incidentally, that was the best joke I've got. Firstly, I'd like to thank you all for coming here today. A big thank you, and I hope you enjoy the day. Some people can't be with us. David and Leanne, Maz, sounds an interesting character, Lawrence and Bertie. For some people, distance was a problem. Ron and Paula, not because they live in the Pyrenees, but because they have another wedding in Atlanta. Oliver and family in Indonesia. Helen Beebe, who is taking a brownie pack to Bulgaria. And Sylvia, my centenarian aunt in Salisbury. There is one group of people that I would particularly like to thank, even though they're probably not in this room. And that's the members of Gloucester City Chapel, who laid out all those sandwiches and cakes after the ceremony. It involves a lot of work, and the members of City Chapel volunteered to take it on, and I'm most grateful to them. I'd like to tell you a few things about Hannah. When she was about 5 years old, I attended parents' evening at her primary school, where I met her teacher, the Surgeon Mrs. Thomas. I happened to say that I wondered how Hannah would get on in the big wide world, because she was very shy, which she was in those days. Mrs. Thomas replied, "You have no need to worry about Hannah. She runs this class." And I must say, if you have seen anything of the time and effort that Hannah has put in to planning this wedding, you would perhaps be able to glimpse something of that little girl organising her class. Before Hannah joined Gareth, I tried unsuccessfully to persuade her to become a primary school teacher. And if you wonder what she would have been like, I would refer you to something that she wrote when she was 6 years old, which I've got right here. What I'd like to be when I grow up. I want to be a teacher when I grow up. I want to be a teacher because I want to tell everybody off. And because I would make them take away their team points too. And make them do about 10 pieces of work to do. Or, and here was an afterthought, or be a nice teacher like Mrs. Compton. Well, teaching's loss has been Garrison's gain. On leaving primary school, Hannah was interviewed by the head teacher of the secondary school which she was about to join. At least, that was the head's intention. But he made the mistake of asking Hannah if she had any questions. She produced a list about the organisation of the school, which left him floored, and he quickly discovered that he was dealing with a star pupil. After doing her A-levels, Hannah took a gap year. She travelled to Austria, where she spent 6 weeks teaching English as a foreign language. Then she travelled to Japan to volunteer as a housekeeper at a mission home. It takes a lot of courage to get on a plane by yourself at the age of 18 and travel to the other side of the world, not knowing anyone but your destination. But Hannah summed up the courage. Arriving at Tokyo, she got a shock to discover that she had to cook her own meals and do their own shopping. Now, if you've been to a Japanese supermarket, you'll know that firstly, nobody speaks English, and secondly, all the products are labelled in Japanese. But Hannah quickly adapted and learned to cook, and she is now a very good cook. Returning to the UK, Hannah went to Durham, where as well as her degree, she gained an award for making an exceptional contribution to the social life of Columbia College. Then it was back to Japan, this time for 2 years to work as an assistant teacher of English in a secondary school. In addition to making lifelong friends, such as Yukiko and Masako, she began to take an interest in running and cycling. This proved useful in later years when she met Michael, who was also a great runner and cyclist. Since her time in Japan, Hannah has completed 4 marathons, including London, Valencia and Lisbon, countless half marathons, 10Ks and triathlons, and has got the medals hanging up in her kitchen to prove it. It goes without saying that Corinne and I are very proud of her and her many achievements. The first time we happened to meet Michael, he was inevitably on a cycle ride with Hannah. Since then, it has been a pleasure to get to know him and his extended family, with whom there is never a dull moment. I do hope, Michael, that you feel as welcome in our family as I'm sure that Hannah does in yours. I want to leave the last word with Mrs. Thomas. At the end of that primary school meeting, she said, I hope that one day Hannah marries a very nice man. Well, when Hannah had been going out with Michael for a few months, I remarked that Michael seems like a nice man. To which Hannah replied, he's a very nice man. Which made me think perhaps that wish from years ago would be fulfilled. And so it has been, which is why we're here today. So, without more ado, may I ask you to raise your glass and drink a toast to Michael and to Hannah.